Just want to show y'all quickly where the 30, 60, 90 triangles come from. If we start off with an equilateral triangle, then we come up with a 30, 60, 90 triangle, and I'll show you how. So we got an equilateral triangle, which means all these degrees would be 60, 60, 60. Now, if I draw a line straight down, so basically just the altitude from the top to the bottom, let me show you what you would get. Oops. Let me pull that over. Okay, so we draw an altitude. So you can see that would cut that top angle in half. So instead of it being 60 degrees, you now have 30 degrees here. You've got a 90-degree angle here. And of course, this is still 60 because it was a 60, 60, 60 triangle. Okay, so now we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Let's label the sides. It's funny, you can see my shadow in here. Okay, so let's just we need to start somewhere. Let's label this short leg right here. We got a short leg, a longer leg, and then our hypotenuse. So our short leg, I'm gonna just call it S for side, okay? You can see pretty quickly, this bottom piece here just got cut in half. And that bottom piece is the same length as this side piece. So if this part here is S, this side is twice the length of this one, right? Because this one got cut in half. So I could call this one 2S. So we see a special relationship already in a 30, 60, 90. The short leg, whatever that is, your hypotenuse is always going to be 2 times that thing. All right, now we just have to know the relationship of this long leg over here to both of these. I can do a little Pythagorean Theorem with S and 2S, and let's call this something, let's just call it A for altitude, or like A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, so if I set up Pythagorean Theorem, I've got A squared plus S squared equals 2S squared. Let's write that over here. Equals 2S. Now make sure you put that in parentheses. It's all of 2S squared. Okay, simplifying this thing, well, we could do 2S squared. So that's 2S times 2S, which would be 4S squared. Okay, and over here we have A squared plus S squared. Still can't do anything with that. Remember, our whole goal here is we want to get an expression for A, right? This side over here. So we want to get A by itself. All right, so I could subtract this 1S squared from 4S squared. So if I subtract that from both sides, I end up with just A squared over here equals 4 squared minus 1S squared would be 3S squared. And then I want A by itself, so we take the square root of both sides. And that would simplify to just A equals. Now if you look over here, I can't take the square root of 3 and get a whole number, so I leave that in the radical. I can do the square root of S squared, which is just S. So that comes out of the radical, and I get S times the square root of 3. And there is our special relationship for side A. So we look back over here. Side A is S square root 3. You can write that in there. Which tells us that that side in the 30, 60, 90 triangle is always going to be whatever your short side is times the square root of 3.